Okay, Universe 2. Let's see how you guys are doing. So Universe 2, gonna take a look at everybody. And again, everybody's pretty close together. They're really, Jocelyn is the only one that kind of jumped out ahead this round based on where everybody else is at. Profit for the round, Charlie did 426, so nice job with your profit. Jocelyn spent a little bit more, so that's why her profit's lower, but otherwise you guys are doing real good. Just looking at it, almost everybody except for Kelly is in the green with profit on this group, so we'll take a look at Kelly's and see if we can find out what might be happening here. So yep, definitely market shares down here for Kelly and for Courtney, but otherwise everybody else is doing pretty well with their market share. Taking a look at Kelly here, a little bit too high for this cost probably. You're the only one with Tech 2 though, and I would take a look at your Tech 1 prices for both Kelly and Courtney. Those need to come down a little bit more, and in all areas. Okay, so take a look at your competition and make sure you adjust that. Social responsibility, make sure that you are using ethical suppliers because that does matter to your constituents. From a production perspective, for those of you at 100%, just make sure that you don't have too much inventory building up. Kelly is one of those, Courtney as well, because you didn't sell as much. I think that's where part of the issue is. Okay. Ooh, my computer's working hard right now. And then if I take a look at average, I wanted to look at logistics cost. Nothing overall too great here, so I think we're okay with that. Just want to show you on this round, when I look at decisions, my computer generally doesn't make this, so I'm a little nervous. Really loud noises. Okay, I'm going to go to demand here for Kelly just to take a look at this. Okay, when you're doing your demand, you want to make sure that this 4.7, you're not going up to 18 because you're overestimating your demand right now, so that's why you're making so much. You're probably in a market only going to be taking 1 or 2 percentage points each round, so you're gonna have to claw your way out of this. If you adjust your prices, you might jump a little bit higher this first time, but after that, it's gonna be just not real big. A little higher. And I think if you read the market conditions, your demand is a little bit high. US should be between 7 and 10%, Asia 17 and 20%. I think I was high on the other ones I did. Didn't read that real closely, and this should be 5%. So make sure this is all set up right. If you don't set this up right, you're going to run into some issues in your production and create too much. So this is where your demand comes from for your production and where you're at. So this is your inventory, and this is your unsatisfied demand. So you're not making any Tech 2 here, and you really don't need any. You're not selling enough to have contract manufacturing, so you're not going to outsource anything because I don't know why you would do that. So let's do 20. Still not going to move it too far. 30. So every time I reduce my Tech 1, I'm also reducing my inventory. So I'm using inventory instead of making it, which is good because you don't want to do too much. Yep, I know I can't. Okay. So this is just going to show you your inventory costs. It's important to watch that because if you have too much inventory, that can cause an issue, and you're not going to grow that much, especially as you introduce other. You can grow more than that. as you introduce other products, that takes away from your first product. So you have to kind of balance that. So we have 12 to, if you're going to grow anything, this is where I'd start growing, but let's wait around and see how we do. Procurement, this is where you just don't want to use these unethical suppliers. You can always run a study and see what you see, but and then in your research design, again, you had the same issue where you didn't finish purchasing, so you have to put your total number in here in order for you to get the whole. So now you'll see that you grew both Tech 1 and Tech 2. You have to type in this whole dollar amount here, otherwise you're not going to get anything from it. This is showing you that you get it, so make sure that that shows you that you're getting it. Okay. Again, if you make it in-house, you get it next round. If you buy it now, you get it now. So make sure you update these. Make sure your promotion. I mean, you could do 25,000 if you want. I don't think that's going to help you any when your prices aren't where they should be. So here's your unit cost, $93. You're selling it for $400. It's quite a markup. Looks like you're making a good deal, but you're not going to sell that for that price because that's not where everybody's at. So I would definitely bring that down, and I would definitely bring this down a little bit. Okay, and you do that for each of these areas. I'm increasing this. I'm actually adding promotion. So don't forget to update these pages. It's actually not too far off. This is really expensive. I feel like you have an issue here. So on the tax tab, you should keep these to 1. Otherwise it's going to mess with your pricing. So let's go back. All right, these look better instead of $3,600 because you're charging twice as much for it. You can actually put in a reasonable price. Okay, yeah, that was not right. Okay, so 2. So that tax tab, like I said in the beginning, don't do it, because if you're not good with your prices, you're not going to understand why your price is so high. You're not familiar with it, and that will cause you some issues. Generally, it can help you, but it's not going to help you. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, so it lowers what you're going to make, but it's a little bit more realistic. So here you're going to do US to Europe to Asia because you don't have any plants in Europe, so you want to ship it that way. And here you want to do Asia, Europe, US, so you have that correct. But I think better to get that covered. Again, these should be 1. And then your finance tab, yeah, again, some short-term debt. Short-term debt is really, really bad. So let's do, costs you a lot of money to have short-term debt. I'm going to transfer some money out of Europe and Asia, which takes care of some of it, and then we're going to go ahead and take a, I'm going to issue some stocks here. 1 too many zeros. Okay. Now you got some money. All right, you're going to have to pay that back at some point, but at least you have some cash flow without taking out another loan. That looks better. Okay, so Kelly, that's what I would do. Again, I am going to reset this so that you can take a look at it, but those are some changes that I would make. So I hope that helps. I think, Courtney, you're going to find yourself in a similar situation. I'm just going to take a quick peek here. So first take a look at your text tab. Yeah, these should all be 1, Courtney. Make sure you change these. You do not want these at 2. You're overinflating your prices as a result of that. Okay? Take a look at your research and design. Okay, $10 investing isn't going to get you anything. So if you want Tech 1 and Tech 2, my recommendation would be to invest in it. and put all that money in so you actually get something from it. And don't put money in technology that you have no intention of purchasing. $10 isn't going to get you it. Looking at your demand. Again, 5% for Europe. I think it was 10% for US. 17%. You're getting that off of your market condition page. Make sure to read this page. That's really important. And you're not going to grow from 2% to 20%. So make sure that this is like 5. This one can be a little higher. Okay, that's going to be where you're at right now. You also have to add your Tech 2 in here. Let's do 5 across the board, just so we can see how we do. And you can adjust next round once you see how you do. All right, we need to make your Tech 2, so we'll go ahead and do that. Again, we're going to reduce this. You have inventory left over, so we'll go ahead and make good use of that. You do not need any outsourcing because you have not sold enough, and 4 isn't going to help you. 4 units, 4,000 units, not much. Okay, this will go over your inventory cost, Courtney, and your investments. Do not build anywhere in the United States, and 7 is plenty for Asia. Leave it like it is. Do not touch this for the rest of the game because you've got too much capacity. All right, I think around 8 you can sell some of that capacity. If you're not using it, you might need to do that. That's a lot. Okay, so we fixed that. Your marketing page, you've got 2 technologies here. You want to make sure that you're investing in your promotion. Again, you can do 15,000, you can do 10,000. I don't care. Just invest in it and be consistent. Have a consistent approach. And every time when you start manufacturing things and you start doing it consistently, your costs will come down. So for some people, some of these costs are different. They look different because they're increasing. Their features are doing something different. Okay. So this is 900. That's 2,000 isn't bad. 1960. Okay. And you do the same for Europe. 3. This isn't horrible. But I think that's plenty. You want to sell it and you want to make money. So there's a balance between too low and too high with your prices. So logistics. Make sure you are shipping from the US to Europe to Asia, US, Europe, Asia, Asia, Europe, US, Asia, Europe, US, Asia, Europe, US. That will help your cost. Your taxes should be 1. Finance. Again, short-term debt. You guys, in your short-term debt. You do not want, and just again, if you're doing 5, 10, 20, you're not doing enough. So you're talking lots of money here. $500 million. So moving that to the US to cut out some of this. You've got some really good stock prices. So even though you've got some debt here, we can move some. I want to pay off that. So I'm just transferring money back and forth to keep you whole and to keep you out of short-term debt. Short-term debt is expensive and can cause you issues. So it's not as much as what you had here, but you didn't enter anything anyway, and that sets you up okay. So again, for everybody, I'll be resetting yours to what you had in your decisions, and then you can go ahead and decide what you'd like to do.